Hi, this is Dick again. Off my walks. I hope I'm encouraging you to be very fit. I got a couple of weeks ago now to going skiing in Clavia in, I think I've got that right, Clavia in Italy. Really looking forward to it. Well, I'll miss you. This week I have a very interesting email from quite a successful member of the Serious Writers Guild, Nikki. And she asked me a very interesting question. She's just releasing a new track, and there's 2 lines in it that she's a little bit worried about, and she wants to know in her email to me, how does she make them more radio ready? In other words, she's just a little bit quietly afraid of using certain phrases. The 2 phrases actually are quite innocuous in modern day language. One of them is, hold on, just check this out now, get it right. I brought the paper with me. Counting assholes I have known. It's one of the lines. The other line is, excuse me if you're a very Christian person and you're offended with that. It's not my common language. The other one is, I'm pissed off and tired of it. As I said, innocuous lines I don't think would offend anybody. But she's afraid that the Radio 1 list in the UK might be staffed by people who are a bit prudish, a bit afraid of public comment. So what I said to her in my email back was exactly that, with a very comedy language, and it depends really on the genre of the track. If it's a hip-hop track, a lot of rapping in it, then obviously there's going to be words like that, and quite frankly the words are almost covered up. I've heard many tracks on Radio 1 in this country, in the UK, and that's the main pop station. I've heard many tracks, hip-hop tracks, and if you listen carefully, there's a lot of really serious words in there that you wouldn't like your children, 6, 7, 8-year-olds to hear. And that's the truth of the matter. And we have to be conscious of that. We have to be conscious of the fact in the States, outside New York and the main cities, there are an awful lot of very straight-laced, prudish people. I like that about America, because I'm quite prudish myself. So, it depends on the genre. It depends on how clear the words are within the lyric. In other words, are they meant in a really offensive way that people can take offense to? It's another thing to bear in mind. Another thing to bear in mind is that a ballad is going along nicely with lovely, as I say, lick me up, love me down lyrics, and then suddenly you get what I call a cacophonous phrase, and those phrases would be termed as cacophonous. They're just not nice phrases, so you got to be careful of that. And I finished the email and I'll read it to you. The smarter move is to record 2 or 3 different versions. The first version, the full version, that's for somebody who buys the download or buys the CD, buys the album, whatever, and you've got the full version with every bit of lyrics in it. The second version would be with the offending words bleeped out. That's a common thing. The pluggers, however, that you employ to plug your music with Radio 1, Radio 2, and the radio stations in the States, they might be a little bit afraid of the bleeping. So therefore you do the third version, which has got the words what we call swallowed. Now my daughter, in her touring all over the world, she has got to sing an awful lot of lyrics like that. And I do notice, depending on the audience, she will either say the full words or she will swallow them. And you know what swallowing is. You say the and you just swallow the word as you say it. Quite acceptable. So you've got 3 versions, and then you allow the pluggers the latitude of having the choice of which version of the lyrics to put to the radio station. That's the smart move. So there we are. That's Nikki's problem. and I hope Nikki has got it sorted out. So it's Jack in the woods again, in Eastbourne, on the downs, up and down the hills. I hope I give you a lot of good advice, and I hope I give you a lot of inspiration to get yourself out running and walking up the hills and down the valleys. See you next time. Bye.